How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Noki, and you're here once again for another edition of the news with Noki. Today, we have a bit of sad news to discuss about the upcoming Pokemon movie, some rather spicy news regarding the ongoing controversy over Deadpool 3, and some absolutely crazy gaming news that just came out yesterday. And without further ado, on to the news! And starting things off today, I would really like to begin by issuing an apology for last night's missed Animal Crossing stream. As those of you who follow along in both the Discord server and my online social media accounts are well aware, I went through a number of Windows Update issues that ended up taking away both my audio and video playback capabilities. And for those of you who've been following along here on the channel for any length of time will know, I've actually suffered this problem now 4 or 5 times. I've honestly begun losing count. So I'm definitely no stranger to these types of problems, and I'm very happy that this morning a Windows representative was very kind enough to help me walk through the steps of getting everything resolved. So it is figured out, at least for now, and I'm very hopeful that we won't have any more interruptions to this week's schedule. So make sure you join me live tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time for some Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and then again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time for No Man's Sky. And if you were really excited and looking forward to the Animal Crossing stream last night, again I apologize, and I hope you'll look forward to next Tuesday night's stream at 9 p.m. Also, if you would like a complete breakdown of all of my weekly schedule, I do post it every single week on Sunday or Monday over on the Discord server as well as on my social media accounts. And you can find all of the links in the description down below. And moving right along into Pokemon today, we got some really exciting news that yesterday a brand new event started in the wild area of Pokemon Sword and Shield, where now in all 1 to 5 star raid dens, you have the capability of coming across a GMAX Pikachu, along with the 5-star raid dens, including Pikachus that know the moves Surf, Volt Tackle, and Feint. And here in the ProfNoki Discord community, I have already had a couple of members come across shiny GMAX 6IV Pikachu on top of it. However, next for Pokemon, we have a really sad story that I must report on, which is that it has been officially announced that the upcoming 21st Pokemon movie that would be debuting July 10th is being postponed. And obviously, as you all know by now, as with many of the other entertainment projects that were set to debut this spring and summer, this is entirely due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. As of right now, the Pokemon Company's statement as to when this movie will release has been a little vague. However, I'm assuming this is due to the fact that they don't exactly want to nail anything down, considering we don't exactly know the entire scope of how the next few months are going to play out. And as a bit of a side note, I am extremely curious as to whether they're still going to go through with the official Zarude launch at the same time the movie was originally going to come out, or whether all of us Pokemon Sword and Shield players will actually have to wait until the movie debuts sometime later this year, or maybe even into next year, in order to get our hands on this mythical Pokemon. And now on to Marvel, where, as many of you probably know by now, there is ongoing Deadpool 3 drama playing out all over the internet. And as I discussed just a couple of days ago, Rob Liefeld is still continuing his ongoing pursuit of aggressively destroying Marvel's image regarding the Deadpool movies, stating that there will actually not be any third Deadpool at all, and that if anybody has any questions as to why this is not going to be, they can ask Marvel. Now, as I've seen many other YouTubers discuss, and I myself also agree to, there are some areas of this story that don't entirely play out as far as Rob Liefeld is considered, especially when it seems like maybe he might have been ousted from this third movie entirely, and maybe because of that he's feeling very burned, and that's why he's going on this current rampage. And overall, it just doesn't make sense for Disney to entirely miss out on the opportunity to rake in on all the cash they could bring from a third Deadpool movie, especially if they ended up tying it in any way, shape, or form to the MCU. It also wouldn't entirely make sense that Ryan Reynolds has been out for weeks and weeks in interviews and in official statements talking about Deadpool 3 and how it's great to be over working with Disney and all of the changes changes and working in the big leagues. Personally, I really couldn't see Disney missing out on the opportunity to make this third movie. However, I guess stranger things have happened. And finally for today, we have one of the biggest stories that's come out in quite some time, at least for me personally as somebody who grew up in the 90s, which is that they actually announced just yesterday that they will indeed be remaking Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Now this is a complete graphical makeover by the studio Vicarious Visions, which are actually the same people that recently remade the Crash Insane trilogy, the Turbo Racing, and so many other games. And they've even had their hands on various other gaming projects like Destiny 2, Skylanders, and even the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And I tell you what, this new remaster looks absolutely incredible, and even includes over 20 of the original songs from the soundtracks of those games, with many of the others unable to be included due to licensing issues, as well as many of the original and iconic courses being included in this new remastered version, now with high definition graphics. Not to mention they did announce the return of the course creator, which is a mechanic that I personally was very excited to see return, with them even kicking it up a notch by including online multiplayer capabilities, allowing players to skate with one another and also share their park creations. The only real unfortunate news that came out of this announcement was that this game will not be launched on the Nintendo Switch the day it comes out. However, as many people have been speculating, they will most likely be launching a Nintendo Switch version in the year or so afterwards, which for many of these large third-party titles has kind of become par for the course when it comes to the Switch. I thoroughly hope that you enjoyed today's edition of the News with Noki, and if you did, that you'll consider dropping a max knuckle all over that like button. Also, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button if you're new to the channel or haven't already, as you'll be able to stay up to date on all of my daily content. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Professor Noki signing out once again for the News with Noki.